This is a Kickstarter backer update.
Welcome back to the Young Indie Chroniclers. This is a special Kickstarter update episode as we enter into the third week of the campaign. We've been utterly floored by the support for this documentary so far. We're currently sitting at 76 contributors and have raised $20,576. Absolutely incredible. This is an entirely independent production, and this support is truly what makes this film happen. So please continue to spread the word, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. We really appreciate it. Now for some breaking news about the campaign. Daniel, do you want to talk about what we'll
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as Peter said, we're so excited about where we are. You know, we get contributions pretty much every day, and it's always encouraging to see even small donations come in, and just that there are people out there who are really excited about this film, just like we are. Exciting news for the production this weekend coming up. We are going to be filming another interview. This time, if you've heard the podcast, you are no stranger to Matthew Jacobs, who wrote like the second most number of scripts of Young Indiana Jones. He also worked on Star Wars video games and Doctor Who, actually, if you can look up his whole Doctor Who side of his career. But we're very excited to interview Matthew here in Los Angeles on camera and, you know, capture the story of how he met George Lucas and working on this show over many years, and, you know, writing for episodes directed by people like Ben Burtt.
This is my trophy. I shot it down.
They've landed and we captured them trying to escape. They are our prisoners.
All these great episodes. Max von Sydow was in one of his episodes. It's a tremendous body of work that Matthew has in the Young Indiana Jones canon, and we're very excited to go. I guess this will be our first time meeting him in person. It's weird because we've talked to Matthew so much. I feel like we've met him, but we actually haven't. So we're very excited about that.
Yeah, exactly. It's exciting times, and we're thrilled just to delve into that. He's even delving into his own archive. He's going to be showing us some exclusive stuff. We're not quite sure what that is yet, but, you know, hopefully, if any of you are fans, you remember in the very first episode, he talked about how he still had some unproduced Young Indiana Jones scripts lying around, and I'm very intrigued if we're able to glimpse some of those lost treasures. So.
We have another bit of news, and this is kind of like developing news, so I think we'll probably speak circumspectly about it. But Peter, what are we really excited about next for the documentary?
Yeah, so we been in touch lately with Young Indiana Jones composer. He also worked on Radioland Murders, Joel McNeely, to interview for the documentary, and more specifically, he has graced us by offering to write and compose a new, specially created theme song just for the documentary. This is honestly huge news for us. It's incredibly humbling, and we're going to be working with Joel to make this happen in very much a Young Indiana Jones kind of way, with the full musical accompaniment and all the bells and whistles. So it's a very exciting prospect, very exciting times. And this is not just something that's going to benefit us here at the documentary, but it'll also benefit you. If we're able to make this happen and able to financially make it work, this will be a theme song that we will present to you, the backers of this campaign, as well as a digital download.
Yeah, we're still working on the costs involved. You know, Joel has been very gracious and offered to write this song, but there's still a lot that goes into the production of a piece of music, especially at the level of quality that we hope to. And so there will be at some point an official stretch goal. We're trying to figure out the amount of funds that we would reasonably and responsibly need to set aside to cover this production. We want to make sure that Joel has everything that he would need to do this in a reasonable and responsible way. So we don't have that yet, so we can't announce that goal yet. Otherwise, we would be doing that. But please stay tuned. We're very, devoted to making this happen, and we know that you guys will support this and come through with that when that time comes. So honestly, I mean, this was our best case scenario in terms of, as we thought about the music for this and hoping that we could get the composer of Radioland Murders and one of the two lead composers of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles to score our film, to do pieces of score for this film. I can't even express how exciting that is. So Thank you, Joel, for being excited to do this and wanting to do this. And we're thrilled to be able to be involved in the production of some Joel McNeely music. So thank you guys so much for making this film a reality, which is the only reason Joel would, of course, agree to do this. So thank you all.
Back to Seth MacFarlane, who is as I mentioned, a soundtrack fan and expert. We've talked a lot about trying to get a complete release of all of the scores for Young Indiana Jones. He's really behind the idea. We're thinking about, because now it's Disney. If there's any interest at all, we'll still finance it if we need to.
See, Disney? Nothing here but respectful synergy.
There's some incredible music there that should be out. And since it was all recorded overseas, there won't be any real reuse. Royalty payments or anything which can make things like that difficult. So it's not something that we've forgotten about. And the last time I was up at the ranch, I did go to the archives and I did a bit of poking around, and it's all there.
Wow.
I mean, the DATs, the little digital audio tapes, they're all there. And it would take somebody, 3-4 months to go through it all and organize it, but it's there if we can get somebody to listen and, let us do it.
Now we want to shift gears a bit, talk about some call to actions, things that you, our fans, our contributors can be doing to help this documentary as we enter into the second stage of our campaign.
Well, of course, we figure you're listening to this, you've probably backed Kickstarter, so thank you so much. And you've probably even told your friends about it. There's a couple of simple things you can do. First, we're actually thrilled to see that our film is displaying in the Kickstarter film section under the documentary section. Not near the top of the list, but it is on the list, which is great. And so any engagement on the Kickstarter page is going to help elevate our profile on that site. So if you've backed, we'd love it if you'd leave a comment. It could be brief. It could be just a thanks. It could be something you're excited about or you hope for the documentary. Certainly anything really that you'd like to say. Sharing the page, of course, would help. And then also sharing our social accounts. We created a Facebook page for this film, George Lucas: The Lost Golden Age. We have Instagram account, George Lucas: The Lost Golden Age, dedicated to this film. Inviting people to follow those and getting those follower counts up will increase the reach of our advertising. We actually have some paid ads in the wild right now on Meta platforms. So the broader that reach, the better those technologies and those platforms can work. So it may sound innocuous, leaving a comment or sharing a profile, but actually it can be a tremendous help to what we're doing. So we would love it if you'd be able to do that and just keep it, at the forefront of your fan conversations. If you're at conventions in the next, couple of months, please keep us in mind. Remember to share if there's anything we can do, if you're going to an event or something and you have an opportunity to promote and there's some way we can support that, please let us know. We'd be happy to supply materials or something to help you talk about our film. So absolutely, please let us know.
Yeah, just to reiterate, the word of mouth for these kind of campaigns is so important. I can't tell you how often I will discover a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo or something years after it's completed. And I'm like, man, I would have supported that if I'd known. And I'd never heard about it. And the biggest thing that you guys can do out there is just share with people. Share. If you guys are part of a George Lucas group on Facebook, post about it. There's limits to what we can do here on our end. And the biggest thing that you can do for us is just to help spread the word out there to people. It is so appreciated. Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors, tell anyone you can. And yeah, Daniel, as Daniel said, we're here to help as well. So anything we can do to help you guys, to help us, we're here for that.
Help us, help you, help us.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you guys again. Like we said, as soon as we know more about the Joel McNeely stretch goal and what that's going to look like, we'll certainly be back with that information. Again, we're just thrilled to have him on board. Really? And just another, we have Rick, of course, we have Ben. Now with Joel, another level of real legitimacy for our film. Gavin Baquet, we hope to have back on the pod very soon. And we know he's invested and excited about this project. And so, we're building this one step at a time. And also, again, keep checking out the podcast. Next week, we actually have an interview with Yusei Sugi, ILM matte painter who, broke really fresh ground on digital matte painting and using Photoshop and these digital tools in the art form of matte painting. It's someone that Rick McCallum brought to our attention in his interview, and we sought out and contacted him in Japan, where he lives now. And it's a wonderful conversation, I think, that for anyone who cares about visual effects and the history of visual effects. Yeah. And so that's coming out next week. So by all means, anything you share from ours right now, it supports the film, it supports the podcast, it supports everything that we're doing. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. So, Daniel, if we're good to go, then I'll just say to the audience out there, thank you again for supporting Kickstarter. And until next time, keep on adventuring.